Welcome to What's Trending with Tire Review, presented by AAPEX 2022. I'm Maddie Weiner, and on today's podcast, we're joined by Vic Vic is owner of Shop Owner Coach, a coaching program for independent automotive repair shop owners that helps them analyze their business to achieve their goals and dreams. Vic is also a former shop owner himself and a member of the AAPEX Events Committee, which I know we will be talking about and digging into AAPEX today. Vic, welcome to the show. Great to have you on again.
Thank you, Maddie. It is fantastic to be here with you today.
Well, I'm excited to sort of dig into what the 2022 AAPEX show has to offer tire dealers in particular, automotive repair shops. So let's talk about it. I know obviously there's the traditional trade show with parts suppliers. Last year was on the upper level, but on the lower level, there was Repair Shop HQ, which was very cool. Last year it was, sort of the first in-person year that AAPEX had Repair Shop HQ. So I guess for, listeners and viewers who may not know what it is, can you describe it a little bit and a little bit about how it went last year?
Okay. Well, it's really cool because on level one of AAPEX, it's dedicated to shop owners, technicians. If you put a part on in the bay, you diagnose a vehicle, that's your home. And considering that 2021 was our first year coming off of COVID and some of the restrictions that was still going on in Vegas, it was out of the park. We had 8 bays. And not only the bays, we had a diagnostic section, we have an alt fuel section. The attendance was amazing. The exhibitors who participated in it, just in Joe's Garage alone, about 75% of them renewed for this year. In fact, we had so much interest off of last year from the exhibitors and the attendees, we had to expand it from 8 bays to 10 bays this year.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And get this, as of right now, middle of the summer, Joe's Garage is sold out in the bays, in the kiosks, and all the booths.
Oh, wow. Lots going on there.
Exactly. And so, I didn't really explain what Joe's Garage is, but what Joe's Garage is it's a facade of an automotive shop. If a shop owner walks up to it, technician walks up, they're going to see what looks like a working automotive shop. Lifts bolted to the ground, vehicles up in the air, equipment and products being demonstrated and how they can positively impact a shop owner or a technician in the automotive shop. Kind of, you talked about the traditional trade show.
Right.
Well, at your traditional trade show, you walk up to a booth and you might have a piece of diagnostic equipment and they'll show it to you, but they won't show you how it operates.
Right. Yep.
Well, in Joe's Garage, there are vehicles that run, exhaust systems that pull exhaust out of the shop, and they can demonstrate whatever these guys want to look at on a live vehicle and see, how does this thing operate? How will it impact me when I take this product back to my shop?
Yeah, which is so cool because, you can see it in action, like you said, and know right away if it's something that, yes, I'd like this for my business. Maybe not. But I remember I spent, I think, probably half a day in Repair Shop HQ. And Repair Shop HQ is the larger area. Joe's Garage is in Repair Shop HQ. And I think smack dab in the middle, right?
Right. And, it's right in the middle of it.
Yeah, and it was pretty impressive to actually see it, and feel it and all that stuff, instead of just having it explained to you or seeing the product. So, yeah, very, very cool addition to the show. And now you were talking about Joe's Garage in particular expanding from 8 bays to 10 bays. Is there any new names or any differences from last year to this year that we can expect?
Yeah, there is. So the transmission is a new section, and Transtar Industries has come in. So they've taken a bay, and so First Brand, we're familiar with all their products, Ray Bestis, Centric Brakes. They got a whole undercar line. They've taken a bay to demonstrate their the different variety of products they have. So that's exciting because this is the parts that get put on the vehicle.
Sure.
Bosch is going to have the bay where they're bringing in their a lot of their service solutions. And Mala will bring in their service equipment. They have what's and this is what I find really cool, they have a lift that's purely portable, does not
Oh,
have to be
wow.
bolted down, and it can lift the vehicle up to full height. So they're going to
Wow.
have that in there. Yeah, I know. It's like, and of course, we're not going to see a semi lifted, but they have lifts that can lift a heavy duty vehicle. So,
Wow.
so that's one of the new names. Yeah, Advanced Professionals is bringing their WTI and CTI training programs in. They're partnering with Techmetric and Mechanic Advisor to take a bay and a whole section up in the kiosk area. But I got to highlight one of our returning people, Autel.
Oh, yeah.
Autel has their ADAS equipment, and they're going to be able to demonstrate ADAS smack dab on the show floor. It was one of the hits of Joe's Garage last year.
That's awesome. And, for our audience, for tire dealers, ADAS is a huge procedure that they do in their shops. And we get a lot of questions about, a lot of the ADAS content that we publish. So that's
Right.
just a huge, I think, subject for the automotive industry right now.
It really is. In fact, that's probably one of going back to early on when TPMS came out. That was the kind of the black art of the product line. Now it's ADAS, and getting questions on how ADAS is going to impact me and how can I service an ADAS vehicle.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. So, and they'll be able to see it. They'll be able to touch it. They'll be able to talk to the guys who actually design the product.
Right,
Oh,
that's
and
cool.
I almost forgot. Right across from Auto, Coach is returning with their tire equipment, but they're also bringing their aligner. So they're going to bring their full alignment equipment, and they'll have a team there, highlighting their product, that particular their alignment equipment.
That's great. Yeah, yeah. I think we saw Coats there last year too. And yeah, I mean
Right.
that whole space is just chock full of technology that shops can check out and see in action. And Vic, I wanted to ask you too. I mean, we're talking about Joe's Garage right now, but in the
Mhm.
greater repair shop HQ, from last year to this year, any big differences in terms of what dealers can expect? Any new exhibitors, anything like that you can share with us?
Well, so on the new exhibitors, they're really not new, but they didn't get the highlight that they needed to. Garage Gurus.
Ah,
Garage
yeah.
Guru, yeah, they have their mobile training center, and last year that was one of the areas that we didn't really promote well. Yeah, but they've got their 18-wheeler coming in, and they'll have the mobile training center. Like, they're going to be doing some classes on site, and also show what the training can be like when they bring it to a shop's area. Alt Fuel is getting a little more traction than we did last year, and the diagnostic, and we're really building out the tool and equipment area. Last year it was a little light. We had a lot of exhibitors that were hesitant, but this year there's no hesitation on people coming back. So we expected level one to be totally packed.
That's awesome. Yeah. Vic, wanted to ask you too. You talked about COVID. Some people were hesitant last year. There was a lot of
Mhm.
restrictions at both AAPEX and SEMA. At
Right.
AAPEX this year, what do you hear in attendance wise? Can you maybe share some of that in terms of both exhibitors and attendees?
Exhibitors and attendees are at pre-pandemic level.
Oh,
So
nice.
we're tracking back to what a full show, both exhibitors and attendees. So it looks like COVID's in the rearview mirror for the aftermarket.
Hey, that's good. Fingers crossed,
It
right?
is good. Yes, it
That's
is.
awesome. Very
Yeah.
cool. Well, we've talked about Repair Shop HQ and Joe's Garage. I wanted to go in a little bit more of the training that's going to be at
Right.
AAPEX this year. I printed out the schedule, and there's just so much to talk about. And not only, we talked about a lot of the technical training and demos at Joe's Garage, but there's also, sort of management and leadership training too. Is that right?
Right. We have world-class trainers coming in this year. We have the technical, and that technical was vetted by shop owners. Same thing with the management. And so all the classes that are being presented have been crowdsourced by the people who are listening to What Treading, their peers.
Right, right. Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
it's stuff that they're going to be able to learn and bring back to their shop. And the focus in shop management is going to be on sales, leadership, developing your team to maximize that front of the counter.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was just pulling up the schedule here. There's one called Charge What You're Worth, which I think is a
Hmm.
great title, and I'm sure a lot of great information. There's another one, what is a top 1% shop and how to be one, which I think is awesome too. I mean, there's so much. There's marketing, sales success strategies, anything that, anything you can highlight in particular.
Well, I'll tell you what, the first one you mentioned, charge what you're worth, that one always rings my bell
Yeah.
because there's this internal challenge that we all struggle with when we're trying to present a estimate to a customer. We tend to minimize it, especially those of us who've come from the industry where we were technicians, worked through as an advisor and then owner. And we don't think about what is it we're really worth. So Murray Voss, a trainer on this one. He's got a coaching company, but he's come from the technical side of the business. He was a technician, he's a shop owner, and now he's a coach. If anyone's living the not charging what you're worth, is us who are former shop owners who now turn coaches. We've learned how to charge what you're worth, especially because we're coaching a lot of shop owners to charge what they're worth.
Right.
In a market today where it's really difficult to find a technician, it's never been more important to charge what you're worth so you can afford to pay the people that work for you and afford to pay the people you want to hire.
Oh,
If you're
so
not
true.
charging what you're worth, if you're not charging what you're worth, you will never be able to hire top level talent. Murray's going to bring in some tools where, the people that are coming in, the advisors and shop owners, it'll give them a little bit of a boost when they get back to their shop. So I highly recommend that class.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's very cool. And you said you were doing a session with Murray Voth as well. Is that right?
Yeah, it's correct. So a lot of shop owners have heard about a 20 group, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times you don't get to know what is a 20 group. So Murray and I are putting on a half day class. It's called What's a 20 Group and Why Should I Care? And what we're going to have is we're going to have shop owners that are there who have submitted their numbers. And if anyone wants to get involved with this, they just got to sign up and submit their numbers, and it'll be anonymous. We're going to walk them through a half day class. What it's going to be is an abbreviated version of a typical 20 group meeting, which is around 2.5 days.
Wow.
They'll leave there. They'll leave there with some tools to be able to put to work right away and start making some additional money if they come to the class. And they'll take the mystery out. What is a 20 group?
Are there maybe
Yeah.
like two or three you'd highlight as, these are, kind of important for tire dealers to attend or at least take a look at, and have that knowledge to bring back to their shop from seeing these sessions at AAPEX?
Well, ADAS is the one that I would
Yeah.
would point them to because
Okay.
because how do we service ADAS in our world? What do we need to do? How is ADAS changing?
Yep.
We brought in a world class trainer to show them and take the mystery out of ADAS. So we've got the equipment in Joe's garage, the technical component of it in the training sessions.
Awesome, awesome. And I know there's a couple on the schedule. There's a couple EV seminars, and training sessions, EV and hybrid.
Right.
Both seminars and training sessions as well. That seems to be an ever-growing topic in the automotive aftermarket in general. And there's quite a few. Is that how you guys have sort of viewed that as well?
It is. EV is not going away.
Right.
EV is going to be part of our discussion. Whether a shop owner takes on EV right away or looks at it as part of his his future growth plan, if he comes to the technical component of it and learns a little bit about EV, he'll be better equipped to make that decision. EV is not for everybody right now. It's a growing and changing market.
Right.
I know shop owners who have dove headlong into servicing Teslas, and they have customers who come from 400 miles away to get their vehicle serviced. They have made that part of their marketing mix.
Wow.
And whether the shop owner is going to put it as part of his current marketing plan, he still should take some time to come to the EV, because I'll go back to it. These are world-class trainers who understand that side of the industry better than most people do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I know I'm excited to attend a couple of the training sessions and learn more about, the emerging topics in our industry. There's always so much to talk about there,
It really is.
That'll be great. That'll be awesome. So Vic, lots of training going on at AAPEX. We're so excited about that. But for tire dealers in particular, a lot of tire dealers have been traditionally going to SEMA, but coming to AAPEX, there's so much, there for them. So from your perspective as a former shop owner, why should tire dealers attend AAPEX this year?
That's a great question. So tire dealers typically focus 50% on their business as tires and 50% on general repair.
Mm-hmm.
These guys have the tire industry down to a science. They know the ins and outs of it. If they come to AAPEX, they're going to see some things that they wouldn't see at SEMA. They're going to see hands-on demonstrations, live vehicles in Joe's garage. They're going to get training that they couldn't get over at SEMA. You're going to see live vehicles on a lift. No one in the U.S. is doing that.
Right.
I
Yeah.
strongly suggest that anyone who's at SEMA, spend a half a day over at AAPEX. You won't regret it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like you said, a lot for tire dealers. Even just the training is
Right.
something worth going to AAPEX, looking around Repair Shop HQ, sitting in on some of these sessions, and yeah, definitely beneficial for tire dealers and independent automotive repair shops in general. So very cool. Well,
Exactly.
I know we're excited about the AAPEX show, and for those listening and watching that want to learn more and check out the schedule that we've been talking about of training, or see the floor plan of Repair Shop HQ, where can they go to find all this information?
They go to apexshow.com.
Awesome. Great. Well, Vic, I'll see you at the AAPEX show this year. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Maddie. We'll see you at AAPEX.